Hey guys, Scott Poley here. I'm a session guitarist and pedal steel player. I also produce and write music, and I'm in the beautiful but very windy countryside of the UK up in Yorkshire to go and visit a really cool instrument maker called Alpher Instruments. They make really interesting guitars and basses, very different than your normal Fender and Gibson style designs. And I've never really played that many of their guitars, but they reached out to me, and we're going to go and check out some of their guitars, see what they're up to. Let's go and meet Alpher Instruments. Beautiful kind of spanky Fender thing from a guitar that doesn't look like it should sound like that.
It looks very metal.
It does look very. It looks very. What are you working on at the moment then? So I mean, we've got loads of wood stock over here. This is incredible.
All kinds of things from crazy burl and resin and whatnot. This one has reclaimed hornet's nest in it.
Look at that.
So I'll get some. Can you grab the spray out?
Yeah.
Over there. So our friend Tobias Casper makes these resin tops for us. If you put a little bit of spray on it.
It's going to be
That is going to be stunning.
Pretty
wild.
wild.
Nice guitar, and that's going with this as well. Which is a rather special.
Oh, look at that.
Thing
That's a
on
beautiful
it.
thing.
And obviously the matching headstock when it's all finished off.
Oh, and the hornet's nest headstock. Wow,
Yeah.
look at that.
And then obviously the flame should come out in this when it's all carved and finished.
And that's going to be a 6-string guitar.
Yes, it is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's stuff like black and white ebony, which doesn't look natural, really. It is.
Yeah,
It's kind of supernatural.
I think that's one of the things that you guys do so well is with the wood sourcing that you guys kind of find lots of different stuff, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, just finding
we
really
like the
unique pieces.
Yeah.
Instead, a lot of companies will buy a pallet load of a certain wood, where I'll pick one piece.
Yeah,
because it looks a certain way.
More the individual pieces. Like, I mean, stuff like that black limber's nice as well. Just a simple.
Even though it's just a simple body, it's just got a little
Just
bit
look
unique.
at that.
It's just got
Stunning.
some really cool grain, or like the English walnut one there as well. Again, just you can have these sort of more simple looking ones that just got a nice little bit of grain to them.
Yeah, just a bit different.
Really cool.
More of that crazy stuff. These are like natural pieces of wood that have been dyed, and then this is resin that's been put in with it to create the top.
So it's a combination of resins and dyes and things like that.
And I mean, in terms of, obviously we all love to talk about tone, and you're putting resin on the top, you're still going to get all that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of preconceptions about things like that. I mean, wood does make a difference, but we've found that top woods make the least amount of difference. That it's more, if there's going to be any tonality in the woods, it'll be the body wood, the neck and the fingerboard. Especially on electric guitars. If you're talking acoustics, a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's a completely different thing.
And when people come to you to order something, I mean, you're making some stock guitars that we talked about, but also people are able to do some custom orders where you have that availability.
Yeah.
Do you, presumably you can advise as to what wood you may recommend? Or
because some people just get really lost because there's so many options and
so you usually will ask for like what kind of tones they're looking for. Is there a particular weight requirement, particular aesthetics, and then we can show them the options that fit within that. Then show them options they may never seen before as well. So like woods that typically instead of like a maple or a walnut top, you can have like camphor burl and all these other weird and wonderful things.
But if they've got a vibe, like for example, if you want something looking really dark or something like that, I mean, there's a number of ways you could do that. You know, you could go down the route of having something that's stained or painted, or you could burnt, or you could go down the route of ebony. And things like that. There's a lot of options to give you kind of cool different edges on the same thing. We'd hate to put something out that we didn't think we'd be happy with or that the customer would be happy with. So we always try and work with people as much as possible to get something that's going to suit them, because at the end of the day, you want them to be happy.
And also that even if it's crazy, there's elements of it that bring it all together. So you don't have like crazy everything. You have like a crazy top and a more simple other things to kind of make it a bit more classy and not too like.
Yeah, because sometimes initially you get you get people that get overexcited. They're like, oh yeah, I'll put this on this, and we're like, well, maybe you need to dial this bit back, and then
we can help them refine it.
Yeah, and then it ends up being they end up being happier with it in the end, because it's like, oh yeah, it's really set that part off, and it's really good because
it's a good collaboration.
Yeah.
So let's check out some of these brilliant Alpher instruments. First of all, this is the Cobia V2 in this really cool kind of burnt silvery finish. We've got Sunbear pickups. It's like a Telecaster pickup at the neck, and then 2 Telecaster pickups made into this really great sounding humbucker at the bridge. Roasted maple neck. We're running through this beautiful Hampstead amplifier, which is mic'd up in the room with an AKG C214, and this is bridge pickup, just basic amp sound. So a little bit of gain just on the amp. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? This amp is also outrageous. So we're going to check out some of the tones of this guitar. This is the bridge pickup on full humbucking mode. If I could say humbucking, that's even better. There we go. And I'm going to coil split it just by pulling up the volume. So this is the bridge pickup coil split. What's the fretboard radius on this, guys?
12-inch.
It's a 12-inch fretboard radius, so it's quite flat, but it's really comfy and you can bend notes really well. No choking out at all. So, middle position, going to make it back to a humbucker. One of the things we were talking about before was, you don't expect a guitar that looks like this to get a mean kind of vintage guitar sound, but this has got it in spades. It's kind of got the country thing as well. Gonna coil split that bridge pickup again. Great sounds. Back the tone off a bit. Beautiful. Neck pickup. It's a really sweet Sunbird neck pickup in this guitar. Might turn some of that Hampstead sweet tremolo on there. Beautiful. It sustains so well and feels super comfy in the hands. Great guitar. Let's move on to another one. I think we should try the baritone next. What do you reckon, guys?
Yeah, go for it.
So this is the baritone. This is currently tuned D through to D. I actually have it drop tuned, so it's got a drop D on it. Some of their pickups again?
Yeah.
Bertrons. So they're kind of Gretsch style pickups, which now I've discovered all baritone guitars should have some sort of Gretsch pickup because they sound like this. I'm kind of lost for words with that, really. Yeah. Just turn the depth of that trend down a little bit. Stop playing this because I could play it all day. So what I'm going to tell you about this has got these really cool inlays. These are just kind of little metal rings, guys.
Yeah, aluminium rings with like a carbon fibre centre.
Aluminium rings with a carbon fibre centre. There you go. I've got the guys just behind me here, so they're telling all the details as we go on. It's got this beautiful solid colour finish, nice metallic but kind of matte finish. Beautiful, simple, single volume control on the back of the guitar. They do really great neck joints here. Forgive me for getting into neck joints, and this is all a bit boring, but it's nicely scooped away. So if you want to get up the dusty end of the fretboard, you can really easily with no problem. And it plays super. There's no, it's beautifully built, exquisitely built. No fret noises, no rattles. And what's this?
Pau Ferro.
This is Pau Ferro. So that's the neck wood that was on, or the fingerboard wood on the Stevie Ray Vaughan Fender Strat as well was Pau Ferro.
Yeah, it's almost like ebony. It's so smooth. It's really.
It's stunning, and it's kind of a kind of it's not a sticky finish. It's kind of like a matte finish on the back of the neck, natural oil finish, and locking tune is pretty much a standard for you guys, isn't it? As well.
It is, yeah.
What's the nut material on this, guys?
It's Graphtec.
Graphtec nut. So middle position. There's no tone control on this guitar, but. Rolling the volume down on this is going to really clean it up. I mean, at full, it's still, spanky. And if you turn to the bridge pickup, if, however, we go to the middle pickup and just turn it down just a little touch, we've got this nice spanky clean sound. Neck pickup. so great the way you can, of course, a great amp as well, but you can clean this up so nicely with like a little tiny turn on the volume. That's full. So turn it down a little touch. It's just a super responsive, brilliant instrument, this, guys. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We're right in the heart of the factory here, so we're going to go and check out some of the projects that you're working on. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff around.
These are
Wenge seems to be a really popular wood that we use for a lot of
Just
bases.
look at that.
So these are sort of half built.
These have got our brass inlays that have like a glow in the dark centre to them.
I was just about to ask you about the inlays, because these are
Yeah.
pretty special. I'm going to try and get in on the camera there so you guys can see it, but it's a little brass ring with the, is it luminol kind of inlay?
Luminlay.
Luminlay, yeah.
So
Then even on the edge there as well, and then we
so you can trigger them with torches or natural light and things like that, and it will charge up.
Yeah.
But if you put light directly on them really close, it will give it and it usually sort of glows. You know, say if you were playing a gig, it'd last a couple of hours and they'd glow up a little bit like soft LEDs.
Yeah, I actually have them on a bunch of my stage guitars. I've had them fitted retrospectively, just because there's so many theatre shows, particularly with the
and
film
you
back
can't
side.
see what you're doing.
Well, it's just pitch black, and I've got a guitar change, and I've got to start on the 9th fret. It's just chaos up there. So absolutely. But that's a great idea.
They are a really nice way of doing it without putting loads of wiring in there and having actual LEDs and things like that.
We'll leave that to Mark King as Mark King is shouting.
So there's necks at various stages here. So before the fingerboards go on.
I was just looking at truss rods there. You've got carbon fibre running down necks there as well.
Yes.
And the truss rods also have like a little T-bar section here. So instead of it pushing on this very thin slot, it's actually pushing on more of the actual neck. We also use the spoke wheel truss rods to make it nice.
And they're nice and easy to adjust on stage, because at the end of the fretboard you can just go and put
you don't need to go find a screwdriver.
Take the cover off, and we do it on the guitars and basses. That is just something we've always kind of put into the development, really.
Yeah, and then I can show you what like some of the fingerboards look like.
Absolutely.
So we've got all kinds of.
There's a lot.
We get these machined for us, so we source the wood, dry it and thickness it and stuff, and then we send it off to a company that helps us with this CNCing these for us.
Look at these. Look at that.
I mean, wild ones like that one's just.
Look at
that one's really cool. But
I love the block inlays. That's a really cool idea, because they go right to the end of the fretboard as well.
Yes, they go straight across. On this particular one, we put like a veneer stripe in it as well, and then we've done sort of the black ringed dots, so it almost looks like a subway map.
Yeah, that's really cool. So this is another Alpher guitar. This is a Cobia Prime. Kind of really interesting, this, because you'll notice there's no pickup switches, but it's actually the pickup switches here. So we've got a rotary switch. I'll go through all that in a second. This has two P90s Sunbears again. Yeah. So we've got volume, and then tone down the bottom. And in the middle, we have the 4-way rotary switch. So we've got bridge pickup as the first one. Let's get it right here. That's pretty serious, isn't it? I've gone on a whole P90 trip recently, and these are really awesome. I think we might need to do something with some Bear pickups, because they're making some great stuff quite clearly. So this is the next position is both the pickups in parallel. was right there. Yeah, we're in parallel on those. So there's bridge pickup, then parallel. And then we've got the next position is both pickups as well, but in series. So, in series, basically, in parallel, you're going to have a slightly thinner sound. In series, the pickups are literally going kind of positive, negative, and they're both on together. So we've got like a giant, great big humbucking pickup, essentially. So this is the series position. You're going to notice a kind of fatter tone. So going back to the parallel, this is the series. For the sake of the fact that I will get a copyright infringement, but and then we have a neck pickup. It's just a really clear, the thing with the P90 is you get that clarity, but also the full, kind of nice, full tone as well. So, you know, you want to play jazzy stuff on it and knock the tone down, you know. Or if you want to get right up there and knock the gain up a bit. And it's going to clean up really well as I pull that volume down as well. It's another stunning guitar. What are we talking about with woods on this one, guys?
So this one's all walnut. So the body is a one-piece English walnut, and the neck. Where is the neck? Is it?
I think is it figured black walnut?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
So a full walnut construction. That's really, I mean, that's quite unusual for a guitar to be made of all walnut, but I mean, it sounds incredible, and the loads of sustain, loads of nice usable top range, and also kind of, yeah, it's just, yeah, full balanced. We talk a lot about, you know, there's people on the internet that will have you believe that woods don't make any difference to the tone, and I think we will all agree that that's also nonsense, chaps.
Yeah, they certainly do, but sometimes people take it a little bit too far and think that the woods are the only thing that makes the tone.
Absolutely. And in this context, you've got the woods, you've got, you know, obviously the pickups, the quality of the electronics. This is an interesting bridge. We've got rollers. Shallow?
Yes.
Yeah, nice high mass, really adjustable. You know, there's no tuning stability issues at all on these guitars. I might add as well, I am not, which the lads will attest to, I'm not being paid for this video, sadly. But yeah, and I could tell them they were terrible. But, you know, no, it's seriously good stuff. And again, locking tuners, hip shot locking tuners on this one. And I mean, look at this construction. I mean, it's just, if you want something different out of a guitar and you want to, you know, I mean, these are not cheap. They're made by hand. You know, you can choose whatever you like on them. But if you want something a bit different, then I'd highly recommend you go and check these guitars out, because they're seriously seriously pretty awesome. Going back to the bridge pickup now. My favourite era of Pete Townsend. This is getting pretty loud in here now, but it was the P90 SG's era, so kind of. And what Pete would do is he just, he'd play quieter and just turn his guitar down for those quieter sections. You that. So I mean, guys, this has just been a little look around, and thanks so much to the good folks at Alpher for having me over here today. I strongly urge you to go and check them out. They're a great British company. They make some fantastic guitars and fantastic basses too, and they ship all over the world. You can configure your own guitars, and they've got some stock models available too if you're interested in that kind of thing. I've been Scott Poley. You can go and check me out online at scottpoliey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Click the like button if you got value out of this video, drop a comment in the comments, and ring the bell icon and subscribe if you can. It supports the channel. I'll catch you next time.
Nice.
Awesome.